Every story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Christian Ogodo. The top stories. Thanks for joining us. The details of the bulletin now. Following the growing concern over economic hardship in the country, the presidency says it will spend about 3 trillion naira saved through the Treasury Single Account TSA on projects to cushion economic hardship in the country in the coming weeks. Senior Special Assistant to the President, Garba Shehu, says the president aims to introduce various interventions that will bolster the economy, thereby enhancing spending and investment in the economy. According to Shehu, the coming months will witness robust investments in infrastructure targeting critical sectors of the economy. And the Senate Committee on Petroleum Upstream has been inspecting filling stations in the Federal Capital Territory with a view to finding out the cause of the lingering shortage of fuel. Jamila Fegwa, Abuja Bureau Chief, has the details.
Long queues still are down streets with filling stations in the Federal Capital Territory with no hope of thinning out anytime soon. Worried by this development, members of the committee acting on the instruction of the President of the Senate, Kola Saraki, has been finding out what the problem is.
Last one we received got finished yesterday by 4. So as I'm telling you now, I'm expecting a truck.
What time is it now?
This is you know, the truck is emotion.
No,
it works on emotion.
What time?
Sorry. This is to 2:30.
So you mean since morning?
We'll go to your tank. We'll go to your tank and check. Yes. Which possible? That one is very, very possible.
Let's go to your tank.
Okay.
On a normal day, 6 trucks is okay for us with 40,000 capacity. But with the trend of demand now, it's not adequate.
A lot of the stations don't have the product, and for those that do have it, it is a chaotic situation.
In
another part of the city, the committee met with some black marketers who opened up on where they get their products from.
If I want 1 drum, can you get it for me? A drum or 2 drums?
Yes, we can get it.
On how much per liter?
How many liters?
Even we say we can get it from 150 per liter.
150 per liter?
Yes.
And you sell it for how much?
For 200.
200 per liter?
Yes, sir.
At Capi, is it from filling station?
Yes, from filling station.
Fact-finding mission over, Chairman Jibril Barau told media men that it is inviting the Minister for State Petroleum, Ibe Kachuku, to tell Nigerians when this hardship will be ending.
And in furtherance to this assessment, we have already invited the Minister of Petroleum Resources, the Minister of State, to appear before the committee tomorrow to tell us about this problem, tell us his strategy on how to solve this problem, and give us a date when this problem will be solved permanently.
Nigerians have been going through the stress of looking for fuel, and the non-availability is causing more worries. Hopefully, with the Senate showing some concern, a solution may be found soon. Jamil Afebwa, CoreTV News, Abuja.
Of course, there's no respite for anybody anywhere in Nigeria, and in Plateau State, trying to find a solution to the perennial fuel scarcity in the country. The state government is seeking the assistance of the Department of Petroleum Resources to alleviate the hardship the situation is inflicting on residents. While in audience with the DPR Field Controller Jeremiah Marshat, the Deputy Governor of Plateau State, Sonny Theoden, called on the agency to help increase the supply of petrol fuel to the state. We have the report taken from our studios.
Rather than just sit and watch, as if we are not concerned, we should rub minds with you and find out what exactly is the problem, where can government come in, if it requires government intervention so that we can alleviate the suffering of the people of Plateau State.
The DPR Field Controller is reminding government officials that DPR is only an agency of government and do not have fuel in its possession. Is calling on them to exercise patience because all the relevant bodies are working assiduously to end the scarcity.
The minimum threshold for availability of products in Plateau is a minimum of 1 million liters per day. And these 5 trucks, if we can calculate, the highest volume you can have by each truck here is not more than 45,000 liters.
Due to the fuel scarcity, black marketers in Plateau State sold at 500 naira per litre during the Easter period.
And in another development, youths under the auspices of the Arewa Integrity Youth Forum have taken a swipe at the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Bola Tinubu, over comments berating the Minister of State for Petroleum, Ibe Kachuku, concerning the ongoing fuel crisis in the nation. The group expressed their support for the ongoing reforms in the oil sector, noting that the advent of Kachuku has cleansed the sector of hawks which have over the years held the sector hostage. Coordinator of the group, Malam Ibrahim Abubakar, expressed dismay over the comments credited to Tinubu, who had earlier in the beginning of this administration advised Nigerians to be patient with the government as it is trying to undo the damages caused by the previous administration. According to Abubakar, Nigerians perfectly understand the current situation in the supply and distribution of fuel to reach everyone, and this is the major reason why there have not been any form of protest or uprising as was done in the past. He therefore warned that any attempt to trigger Nigerians to embark on any mass action will be rejected by the Nigerian people without any further delay. And the continuing Agatu Fulani clashes in Benue State can be stopped if the federal government can expedite action on the setting up of the cattle value chain program. The Doma Initiative and the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria say these and other measures will help in the restoration of peace to Agatu communities of Benue State. Our correspondent in Abuja, Kazim Kasali, has more in this report.
With the almost daily clashes between Fulani herdsmen and youths of the Agatu community in Benue State and the attendant loss of lives, the Doma One Initiative and the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria came together to bring peace between both communities. The effort led to a town hall meeting with the community on the meeting calling on the federal government to do more to ensure the implementation of the value-added chain program for livestock farmers,
with a view to providing short, medium and long-term solutions to the crisis between cattle breeders and farmers in Nigeria. While the federal government, states and local governments are urged to evolve a strategic framework for the implementation of the long-term solution to the problem of grazing.
They also promised that they will work with all stakeholders to bring peace to the troubled area.
The national leadership of Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeder Association will direct its Benue and Nasarawa state chapters to immediately direct the Fulani herdsmen carrying out grazing activities in Agatu to immediately withdraw and to move to Nasarawa side while dialogue towards the peaceful resolution of the conflict is ongoing.
On what will happen now that the peace accord has been signed, both sides have this to say.
The herdsmen who are grazing around that area to leave that area until peace until the committee that will be set up have concluded.
The leadership of Meiti Allah at the national level and the local level, Nasarawa level, even the Agatu level, we had youth from Agatu who are part of the recipients of the problem that has ensued hitherto before now.
It remains to be seen whether this latest initiative will indeed bring peace to the troubled area. Kozim Kasali, CoreTV News, Abuja.
And as part of the efforts aimed at bringing peace to the troubled Agatu communities of Benue State, a member of the House of Representatives from Upper Agatu Federal Constituency of Benue State says the issue needs a more holistic approach. He says the setting up of a permanent military formation in the area will be a step in the right direction.
To use this opportunity to advise the federal government that a permanent military formation be set up around that riverine area, because it appears that some of these headers do not have direct linkage with the hierarchy of Mietiala. It appears that some of them are rustlers and they can come on their own to carry out havoc.
Troops of the Nigerian army fighting Boko Haram terrorists in the northeast have killed a total of 29 terrorists in several clearance operations, while 72 innocent citizens taken hostage, including women and children, were rescued. The cleared villages are Mbaleri, Shwari 1 and Shwari 2. In addition, the troops also rescued 18 persons held captive by the terrorists. They're comprised of 2 men, 7 women, and 9 children. The rescued persons have been moved to the brigade's headquarters for further screening and care. The troops also recovered 2 cylinders, 1 AK-47 rifle, 3 boxes of 7.62mm special ammunition, 2 bicycles, bags of grains, and rescued 54 persons held hostage by the terrorists. And in another development, the Nigerian Army says it has raised the reward from 500,000 naira to 1 million naira for anyone with useful information that could lead to the rescue of its abducted officer, Colonel Samaila Inusa, to 1 million naira. The Army says it will give adequate protection to anyone who provides the required information and assured that it will be treated with utmost confidentiality. Colonel Inusa was whisked away in his Mercedes-Benz car by gunmen suspected to be kidnappers around Kamazu along Kaduna Refinery Road in Chikum local government area of the state. Meanwhile, as part of efforts to successfully rescue the senior officer, spokesman of 1 Division, Nigerian Army, Colonel Usman, says the Army is ready to give the reward in cash to any person with useful information that could lead to the rescue of the officer. 6 suspects have been arrested in connection with the recurring crisis in Ibi local government area of Taraba State. Commanding Officer 93 Battalion Takum, Lieutenant Colonel Obinna Egemole, confirmed this while parading suspects with the arms recovered from them. Udwa Godwin reports that the suspects were immediately handed over to the Nigeria police for more investigations. I report.
Ibi local government area of Taraba State has been characterized by ethno-religious crisis, with the latest happening on the 25th March. Prior to the most recent incident, 2 peace meetings have been held in Ibi within 1 week, with a view to finding an amicable solution to the crisis, but it seems the migrants are bent on going on with the crisis. The commanding officer says a 24-hour curfew is being imposed on Ibi while manhunt for the remaining hoodlums is ongoing.
Furthermore, measures have been put in place for more peace meetings. All stakeholders in the area are also requested to educate their youths on the need for peaceful coexistence and tolerance amongst one another for the benefit of growth and sustenance. Egemole, who explained that the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuko Berete's mission was to ensure the restoration of peace among all Nigerians, urged all stakeholders to continue with negotiations for a lasting peace in the area. For now, there has been no report of death. So far, 6 persons have so far been arrested in connection with the crisis and manhunt ongoing for other perpetrators. Arms and ammunition recovered include 3 AK-47 assault rifles, 2 AK-47 magazines, 104 rounds of 7.2 mm, 19 rounds of 5.5 mm, 4 single-barrel guns, and 11 cartridges. The 6 suspects have been handed over to the Nigerian police for further investigation. Udwa Godwin, CoreTV News, Jalingo.
And still on the issue of insecurity, the Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike says frequent changes of heads of the various security agencies in the state has been identified as part of the security problem in Rivers. Wike, after making the observation, pleaded that heads of security bodies should be allowed time to implement security strategies they develop, stressing that the frequent changes was disrupting security plans. The governor says his administration is determined to tackle security challenges in the state with support of the various security bodies, stressing that he has continued to give various security bodies the necessary support to enhance their operations. And the Catholic Archbishop of Kaduna Diocese, Most Reverend Manoso Undagoso, is also throwing his weight behind all the religious bodies in the state to kick against the proposed religious bill by Governor Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai to regulate preaching in the state. The Archbishop, who reacted to the proposed bill during an Easter Mass at the St. Pius Catholic Church in Kaduna, described the bill as unnecessary. Theophilus Abila has details in this report as presented from our studios.
Spiritual activities cannot be contained by anybody. Okay? If I use my religion to infringe on the rights of others, it is no longer religion. And therefore, I should be treated as a criminal if it is a criminal offense.
Some priests at the Easter Mass bear their minds on the significance of the day, and also called on religious and political leaders to emulate the style of leadership demonstrated by Jesus Christ, who died for mankind to be saved.
We have been energized by being reminded that we are called to be the go-between God and human beings, and we should just remain committed to that calling. Basically, it is service. They call us ministers, but you know, from the Latin language, a minister is a servant.
We are sent to preach the good news. And in whatever way, today the world, people are tired of hearing the good news. They want to see it. They want to see Christ in us. And that is the most important thing.
The Archbishop also reminded Christians and all Nigerians on the need to be committed and be faithful in the discharge of their constitutional roles.
All right, in part 2, after the break, we look at how Christians in some states are rounding off the Easter celebration. Do join us again.
Mommy, more. Where would I be without you? Now you be my best friend. Now you be my sister. Now you be my mentor, and you are still my mama. Mama na kibani doya de wake. Mama no lazy. You help me reach my peak in mama. Now you wash my infant head. Oh, everything for you I go do, mama. Did I let
Show your sweet and caring mother how much she means to you. Celebrate her with the special Peak Packs. Peak, it's in you.
You're welcome back, and you're still on to CoreTV Primetime News. Here's a reminder of our top stories. You can track some of these and many more stories on our social media platform on facebook.com/CoreTV News. And you can tweet us at CoreTV News NG. And on youtube.com/CoreTV, leave a space news. We'll continue with the rest of the bulletin now, and Nigerians, especially Lagosians, are still in the celebratory mood of Easter despite the high-biting time of the scarcity of fuel. Sarah Yeku visited some parks and petrol stations to find out how the holiday is being spent. Here's a report.
This is what you find. Innocents had to speak here in this park on Easter Monday. Throng of people, both young and old, gather at various parks and fun spots to celebrate the season. Bouncing castles, a mini swimming pool, children playing on the parents' watch. This year's Easter break can be said to be a time of rest for most people.
There's actually no best time to me to celebrate. Every day is worth celebrating, so yeah, it's okay. If you say it's one of the best, fine. But every day is worth celebrating to me.
Enjoying ourselves. Easter period is very good. We bless God. Despite all the hardship and the economic meltdown, God is still faithful and it's giving us what we need to survive.
Fathers are as involved in fun-seeking family time as mothers.
At home with the kids from school time, closing time, we need to take the kids out for them to have a feel, more relaxed, non-academic environment where they can feel with other children, play, have fun. That's what Easter is all about. Love. You can see pure love where children are playing.
The holidays, however, have a coloration of stress, occasioned by lingering fuel scarcity.
I've been working by now. I have places I'm supposed to go to, but I cannot go because if the fuel finishes from the car, the car will remain there.
Fuel issue is very, very bad. So this present time when we know this fuel is not supposed to be like this at all. So now I'm supposed to travel with my family, but because of this fuel issue, we couldn't travel. We couldn't travel because of transport.
In the face of these challenges, all Nigerians hold on to is hope. Despite this hardship, Nigerians will definitely and always celebrate every festive period. Sarah Ayoku, CoreTV News, Lagos.
Yes, indeed, Nigerians would celebrate all festive period, and the Easter Monday is also being celebrated by Christian faithfuls to mark the day Jesus Christ met his disciples at Galilee after his resurrection. Many spent the day at relaxation centers or fun sports, while some converged to replicate the Galilee experience. Speaking on the significance, a special apostle of the Cherubim and Seraphim Church says Christians must not allow the sacrifice of Christ to be in vain, while calling for selfless service and sacrifice on the part of political leaders.
The death of Jesus is to the effect that if somebody can come, sacrifice himself so that we will be saved, that mankind is saved. I think that sacrifice should be what mankind should feel, and that's the fact that we love ourselves, we feel for our neighbors, that we are one in Christ.
I want to plead with all of us to emulate the life of Jesus. What he did while on earth, and at his resurrection, we should try to emulate him, humble ourselves, embrace ourselves, love ourselves.
And President Muhammadu Buhari warmly felicitated with the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as it clocks 64 years on March 29, 2016. The president believes the rising political profile of Asiwaju Tinubu since he was elected as Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 1992 is a testimony to his forthrightness, diligence and doggedness, the same qualities that had endeared him to the electorate and given him all-round success as a private sector worker. A businessman and two-term governor of Lagos State, as one of the pillars of the APC, President Buhari commends the visionary leadership style of the Asiwaju of Lagos, who is also the Jagaban of the Borgu Kingdom in Niger State, for creating a formidable opposition party in Nigeria that worked vigorously within a short period to oust a party that had been in power for 16 years. The president assures the national leader that his patriotism and commitment to democracy and good governance and his generous spirit will always be remembered and appreciated by generations of Nigerians. He prays that the Almighty God will grant the Asiwaju long life, good health, wisdom and prosperity as he steadfastly supports efforts to promote the development of Nigeria. And media practitioners have been urged to use their influence and reach to enhance the image of Nigeria and to present the right perspective to issues happening in the country with a view to attracting the respect of visitors and admiration of citizens. Victoria Solomon files in this report, as presented from our studios.
Nigeria is a country many would love to visit in a bid to experience its people, see interesting locations, interact with diverse cultures, and explore economic opportunities. Tourists are, however, often skeptical due to negative perceptions. Stories about Nigeria, written largely by Nigerian media, to a great extent influence what foreigners think of the country. On the long run, the nation's image is a product of the impressions created by its own people. A public affairs commentator believes that Nigeria needs a global media appeal in telling its stories.
Don't have, and it's a shame, and I've been writing about this, the continent doesn't have a truly global brand.
He further says the media cannot stand alone but needs the help of the private sector as well as the government.
And the media cannot do it alone. It has to be a collaboration, private sector, government, and, build a truly global brand.
The media industry is also admonished to project Nigeria's positive image beyond its failings.
Media especially, to sell the right stories. The dividend will be enjoyed by all of us, because that means there'll be more money, more professionalism, better healthcare, better roads, and a better quality of life for everybody. So the media has a duty to ensure that they keep on pushing the positive side of Nigeria, not the negative. It's not bad to report negative, but focus on the positive.
It is hoped that the media can find a balance between reporting issues as they do and portraying the nation in a good light to the appreciation of those at home and abroad.
International trade facilitators are complaining about the level of informal movement of export items across Nigerian borders to neighboring African countries. They are calling on exporters to perfect their documentation processes in order to enable the government keep track of its economic activities. Akin Obakeye has more on this economic story.
One after another, these trucks are loaded with different goods, their destination, neighboring African countries. This activity happens at major markets and loading terminals with proximity to border towns, but informally.
If you have idea, these people that manufacture these Abba shoes and bags and leathers and what have you, sometimes they also take it to Cameroon, they take it to Congo, so many other places, and these things are done informally.
For traders and producers of these unofficially export items, the aim might be to avoid the bureaucracy involved in documentation. This outright negligence for lay-down procedure has led to immense capital flights for the nation.
Traders and producers of goods have devised informal ways of taking their goods across the borders, through the sea, even sometimes through unscrupulous means, through the land borders. So while a truck is waiting for its formalities, another truck is passing through, having been able to sort themselves out.
Maybe we'll have to build a warehouse here, get all the goods, custom will be there, all the agencies that will have to do those checks will be there, and at the end of the day, you document those products as they are going out and they are coming in. We know the amount of revenue that is coming to the country.
How well has the Nigerian government monitored and checked informal exports?
Most of these informal exports is unaccounted for in terms of the revenue that comes in, so we can't track it. So that's why at the end of the day, it looks as if our non-oil products are not moving out. They are moving out, but most of them are moving out informally. It's not documented.
Trade and investment is paramount to the development of the country, particularly at a time when all is needed to revamp the economy. It is hoped that a proactive step will be taken by the government and its agencies to arrest further illegal capital flights. Akin Obakeye, CoreTV News, Lagos.
Cooking with firewood is one of the most preferred methods practiced in most homes in Nigeria. And a recent report by the World Health Organization, WHO, explains that 10% of global death is attributed to smoke inhaled from cooking with firewood. Godwin Udwak in this report shows why some people preferred such and the health hazard on firewood users. Okay, that report is not ready. We'll surely bring that story in our subsequent news bulletin. An elder statesman, Tunji Brathwaite, is dead. The 82-year-old lawyer died this morning at St. Nicholas Hospital in Lagos. His son, Olumide Brathwaite, who confirmed his death, says the elder statesman died after a brief illness. And we at CoreTV will express our condolences to the Brathwaite family. We'll go on break now, and when we return, we'll be looking at the death toll in Lahore, Pakistan. Stay with us.
With over 7 billion of world population and still counting, the world needs to hear you now than ever. Whatever your ministry or vision is, Gospel Africa will help get you there faster than you think possible. For inquiries and participation, contact 009 503 3859 or 0812-076-0011 or visit www.gospelafricang.com. Gospel Africa, your #1 media solutions for the church today. Gospel Africa, showing on this station at this time. CoreTV News now live on all Androids.
Welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
Download CoreTV News app from your Play Store. Click on the menu to see all our top stories from politics, sports, business, foreign news and live TV to watch us live on your mobile.
I want to know why I should be believing them.
You can also click on video to see all our YouTube videos. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
And for some stories outside Nigeria now, at least 115 fighters of the militant Islamist group Al-Shabaab have been killed in heavy fighting with pro-government forces in northern Somalia. Although there has been no independent confirmation of the claims, 110 militants were captured during the fighting. However, recent investigations indicate that Al-Qaeda-linked militants have drifted north after losing ground in southern and central Somalia. At least 70 people are now dead and more than 300 wounded as a suicide bomber strikes in Lahore, Pakistan, killing mostly women and children. A faction of the Pakistani Taliban, Jamaat-ul-Harrar, have claimed responsibility for the attack in the eastern city of Lahore and says it was aimed at Christians. Christians were celebrating Easter Sunday at Gulshan El Yobal Park, which is popular with families, when the bomber blew himself up a few meters from a children's play area. Pakistani Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif says they would launch a manhunt for those behind the attack after Jamaat-ul-Ahrar issued a direct challenge to the government. A man known as Faikal Chefu, arrested and charged in Belgium with terrorist offences after the Brussels attacks, has been released for lack of evidence. The police has also released the CCTV footage in their efforts to identify a third suspect in last Tuesday's bomb attacks on a Brussels airport. Attacks in the airport and the CCTV's metro system killed 35 people and injured more than 300 and were claimed by the so-called Islamic State militant group. And finally, on the foreign team, Fidel Castro has broken his silence over President Obama's Cuba visit in a damning letter published in state-run newspaper Granma. Fidel, who handed part his brother Raul a decade ago, says Cuba doesn't need any gifts from the Americans. He described Obama's words of reconciliation as syrupy and warned that they could give Cubans a heart attack. We'll take a break now. When we return, we'll bring you some sports stories.
Our style, and that's what he delivered.
And Emmanuel Adebayo has returned to the Togo national team after ending a self-imposed international exile ahead of Tuesday's 2017 African Cup of Nations home qualifier against Tunisia. Adebayo joined the national team after negotiations with the FTF officials and trained just like his teammate. He last played for Togo in June last year and turned down initial approach from FTF President Colonel Kosi Akpovi prior to last week's reverse fixture with Tunisia to focus on his club future at Crystal Palace. South Africa's Banyana drew 2-2 with Cameroon in the second international friendly match played at Omnisport Stadium in Limbe. In the match played under blazing heat, Vera Pauw's 2016 Olympic-bound squad came back from behind twice to hold the host, having beaten the same side 2-0 in the first friendly match played on Easter Friday. Banyana goals were scored by Chantel Esau in the 44th minute, while the second came from Linda Motlaho on the 72nd minute. Despite conceding 2 goals in the second game, imposing goalkeeper Rosanne Barker was a rock on which most Cameroonian attacks persisted. Excuse me. Heather Watson's run in the Miami Open has come to an end in the 4th round with a 6-3, 6-4 defeat by Simona Halep. British number 2 Watson led 3-1 in the opening set before losing the next 5 games to the Romanian. And 5th seed Halep broke Watson, who was hampered by thigh injury. Twice more to win the second set and reach the last 8 for the second year. Liverpool striker Daniel Sturridge will make his first England start in 18 months when they host the Netherlands in Tuesday's Wembley friendly. The 26-year-old missed the entire Euro 2016 qualifying campaign with injury. England coach Roy Hodgson is set to make changes from Saturday's 3-2 win in Germany, with keeper Fraser Forster setting to start. And that's the package on CoreTV Primetime News. But before we go, let's take a look at the top stories again. That's Primetime News on CoreTV News Lagos. Thanks for watching. My name is Christian Ogodo. But remember to join us for Midnight Update. See you then.